everybody. I want to talk about beliefs. You know, a lot of this shadow work really drills down. You can probably see my responses almost every day. It really boils down to our beliefs. Beliefs that at the deepest levels. So with the shadow work, initially as we try to heal our past, we look at our childhood wounds. We look at the beliefs that we formed in childhood in response to those wounds. So it's really not about the wound. You know, we get very caught up in wanting to think about our wounds and how terrible they were. Some people had it way worse than others, and it's all relative. But it's really about the beliefs that came out of it. How you learned to think about yourself, how you learned to think about the world and those around you, and that was influenced by your parents and your conditioning and the people, anything that was influencing you as a young child. And we focus on that in the beginning because those are some deeply ingrained beliefs, usually around, why we're on the planet, God, religion. There's a lot of those kind of things that get programmed into us, air quotes. And so another thing, and as we move forward, so let's say we're all doing great and we're healing those wounds from the past, learning how to accept ourselves as we are, which helps us accept other people as they are. We always want to be looking at our belief systems to see, am I bumping up against a limited belief? And what I say in my book, Healing Through Shadow Work, is that, if your beliefs are working for you and they're not hurting anybody else, awesome. Just recognize that not everyone believes what you believe. And that's where we have to sometimes dial ourselves back. Some things that have come up recently, and we actually had a discussion that admins and moderators about this. But it's not the first time it's been mentioned. It's twin flames and that whole twin flame relationship. I just want to say this for the record. First of all, a couple things. Number one, this is not a spiritual group. It's not one of those we're all ascending kind of groups. I participated in those groups. I was into that. And, there are pieces and parts that I really love. And, but again, they're all ideas. They're all belief systems. The twin flame thing is a belief system. And even within that, everyone has different opinions about it. So with beliefs, I always say, recognize that what you're talking about is a belief. And so usually with a belief, it's either ingrained and we don't even realize it's a belief, or it's something that we really want to believe in. I love the idea of the twin flame. So it's something that you want to believe in, but to really believe in it, you have to experience it. And so most of what I've seen around the twin flame thing is people not experiencing it. So again, with shadow work, it helps you kind of take stock and say, is this working for me? What has been my actual experience? And so again, recognize that not everybody believes this, and to do shadow work and this group is not even about that. What I'm going to pick out if you're talking about a twin flame, I'm going to come in and say, well, it doesn't even matter the relationship. The whole thing with shadow work is looking at your relationships, looking at your patterns of behavior in a relationship. The biggest relationship and the most important one is that one with yourself. That's your spirit. That's who you are at your core. Oh, we got some barking dogs outside. And then all the other relationships. So we look at our parents. We look at romantic partners, friendships, people that influenced us. Those are ways that you can find patterns in your behavior, patterns of how you treat others, patterns of how you treat yourself. And sometimes as you start doing this work, you start realizing, that's not good. I have a negative pattern that is that I'm allowing people to treat me a certain way. And so we start learning about boundaries and we start realizing I didn't have a boundary there. I've been doing too much for people and not getting things in return. Again, the point of it is to be able to examine your beliefs. Some other beliefs, and sometimes people post about this and I've been declining them. This is not a group about ascension. Ascension is another belief system. It is not unlike religious beliefs that look forward to a savior coming. And I'm not judging that in any way. Trust me. I've believed in both. I don't even know what I believe in now, but I can tell you there are certain ideas within this online spiritual community, whatever that is, because those beliefs are so varied. But there are certain beliefs that only really cropped up in the last couple of years. I've been watching, I'm like, y'all, I watch and observe. That's what I do. That is what I do. I've done it in my career, and I do it with my life. So, you wonder, like, how did this get introduced into our consciousness? Like, I deliberately started talking about shadow work many years ago in the hopes of raising awareness. And I'm like, it's just like with anything that gets programmed, you repeat and you repeat and you repeat. And so for me, that was coming from, well-intentioned, the highest place within myself, trying to share what I've learned through my own experience of doing this work. I just want you guys to keep that in mind. There are so many other different beliefs. For example, and I'm just throwing these out there, again, not to judge. And when I say the things I talk about are things I've believed in, I've explored in depth in my own way, and then I have to kind of like come out and assess, like, is this true for me? I mean, I like how it sounds, I like the idea of it, but I'm not going to personally live my life according to a belief that I haven't really quite experienced it. Like I will try for years to like work on something, and then I have to sit back and be like, okay, maybe there's something else I'm supposed to be getting from this. Again, we all have our things. So what I try to do is accept people's beliefs. If someone comes in mentioning the twin flame that I don't really believe in, that's okay. And you are entitled to that. And like, good for you. If they're your belief, I'll say this again, as I said it in my book, if it is helping enhance your life and helping you find meaning in life, helping you have faith and hope, much like religion does for many people, that you have to acknowledge, especially those of you who say the word religion, you get triggered out your mind. If it helps you live a better life, it helps you be happy and peaceful, and if it helps you make sense of why you're on the planet, and it doesn't hurt anyone, that's a big one. It's not hurting other people. Again, that's my own belief and opinion. But I think that's a good measure of like our belief systems and how to kind of navigate that. I just wanted to put that out there, just a few things. There's several more. Like I had a whole list that I'd written months ago, but this has really been on my mind, and I'm noticing it more and more. So in this group, I'll just reiterate it. We are talking about shadow work. Shadow work is spiritual agnostic, for it's about the best as I can say it. It shouldn't matter whether you believe in twin flames, Jesus, Krishna. It shouldn't matter because it's about human behavior. So just some things to think about, mull over. Again, I'm not trying to judge anyone or offend anyone. That's certainly not the thing. But I want to get real about this group and like what it's about. And we've had some really great posts lately, people talking about like just their, how do I start this? How do I do this? I'm dealing with the mother wound. And even the twin flame is really about your relationship with a partner. So, I mean, if we can take it there, but we're not here to talk about twin flame relationships. We're not here to talk about ascension. I'm not even posting a lot of things about the full moon and the new moon. I mean, again, I love me some full moon and new moon. Don't get me wrong now, y'all. But it's just not the place. Not everyone believes in those things. For me personally, I'm like, I found some benefits and noticed things happen for me personally around moon cycles. Find what works for you. Study yourself. Shadow work is all about studying yourself. And the more you study yourself and know yourself and understand your own darkness and being able to walk through your own darkness and forgive yourself and heal and hold yourself in unconditional love, the more you can do that with other people. And the more you'll recognize that, oh, wow, other people have their own beliefs that aren't quite like mine, that's okay. So, but again, to keep it in a container within this Healing Through Shadow Work group, I do have to I have to draw a line. So if you see if your post isn't getting approved, that could be why, but you can always reach out to me and ask. So I talked about 5 minutes longer than I actually wanted to. I hope everyone is doing well. If not, hang out in a group. We try to cheer each other up and urge each other along this path, this healing journey. And again, we do all help each other. No one has the answers. And if you ask a question, you're going to get 50 different opinions. So you have to take in what resonates with you. Okie doke. You guys have a beautiful day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.